Problem solving round. If you are someone who's actively looking out for data roles, then this is not an uncommon word to you. Does not matter which particular company you are interviewing for, problem solving round is common to all. Now, if you start looking out to see what should you be preparing on for the problem solving round, if you go ahead and ask the HR, you'll probably find some vague answer from the HR saying it's going to be technical, so be prepared. Now, what is technical? Is it going to be SQL, Python, system design, DSA, machine learning, deep learning, probability statistics? What exactly? Now, today I'm here to talk to you about my own experience in problem solving rounds, and I'll be sharing 6 tips that will surely help you, as it has helped me personally too, to go through the problem solving round and come out victorious at the end of it. So let's jump in. Before jumping on to the tips part, let me talk a little bit more about what is problem solving round and what the interviewer is actually looking from you in that particular round. So problem solving round is all about your understanding your thought process and if you are able to collaborate well in a collaborative environment. So the interviewer is trying to find out if you are able to plan out or map out some rational or logical step-by-step solution to a particular problem. It can be a coding question. Even if you are not able to provide the most optimized solution to the problem, all the interviewer is looking from you if you are even able to give the brute force solution and then build on top of it, right? And let's say in case it's product sense or case study question or system design question, the main question that I get from the candidate is that there can be multiple different approaches to solve the same problem. And yes, you are right. There can be multiple different approaches, but again, as I'm mentioning, it's all about the interviewer trying to find out what your thought process is. Are you going step by step, or are you jumping to the conclusion at the starting itself, or are you going in the complete wrong direction? You are not even able to understand the question and going in the wrong direction. All the interviewer want to see is if you are able to understand the problem, think in a rational way, and then probably walk them through the proper steps one after another. And that's it. That's what they're looking for. They are not looking for you to come up with some state of the art, out of the world solution to a problem. You can give a very simple one, but even if you are able to walk them through properly in a simple solution, that gets more point rather than, some out of the world solution which you are not able to explain even half about it. So I hope that clarifies your doubts a little bit. Now let me go ahead to the 6 tips that I promised you at the starting of this video. So let's start with the number 1. Do not start prepping just before 24 to 48 hours of your interview. There's a very high chance you will come across a keyword in your JD which you do not know enough about. But if you have limited time before the interview, do not go ahead and start learning from scratch. Rather than learning a new topic in a limited time, go ahead and polish and revise all the concepts that you already know. Believe me, if you go to the interviewer and say that I am not sure about a particular topic, they won't ask many questions from that. But if you go ahead and claim that I know everything and then are not able to answer any question properly, that will reflect poorly. So always go ahead with a clear slate and tell that I am sure or confident about this topic and I do not have much information of the other topic. That is rewarded much better compared to someone who tells that I know everything and not able to answer any question properly. Also, another side to it is whenever you're trying to learn too many things at a very short span of time, there's a very high chance you won't be learning everything about the same. So the interviewer is easily able to figure out, as well as you, due to learning too many things in the past couple of days, are not well rested. So there's a very high chance you going blank in the interview for even the questions which are well known to you. So someone who has rested well and are able to stay calm in the interview and maybe able to answer only 80% of the questions have a better chance than someone who's able to answer everything but all in half-baked format. So please rest well and do not fret too much about the topics you don't know, but rather worry and polish the topics that you already know about. Second point, clarify. No matter whichever particular question you are being asked, may it be a coding question or a product sense or case study question, always clarify what is this question all about. clarify from the interviewer why are they even trying to solve the problem, what is the goal of the problem, and let's say what is the primary metric against this problem. Believe me, this helps you to jot down your thoughts better before jumping into the solution. So a lot of the times we see that the candidates are directly jumping into the solution, and then midway through the problem they might encounter a particular situation for which they need some information, and when we do provide them the information, then they will eventually remember that there is some crucial point they have not even discussed at the starting of the problem itself. So that not only makes you scratch out all the steps that you have taken so far, it loses you critical, crucial amount of time in an interview, which is already limited time, and it creates an extra added sense of panic as well in the interview room. So before jumping into the solution, always make sure that you are absolutely clear on what the goal is, what they want you to do. It's okay if you are not able to think about all the situations at the starting itself, but these are the questions that I just mentioned earlier, as in what is the goal of the solution, what's the primary metric they're trying to track, or what is the overall objective of the problem. That always helps you to build out step-by-step solution. Doesn't matter if it's a coding question or a product sense or case study question. Third thing, think out loud. So whatever steps you are thinking about taking in your coding question or case study or system design, think out loud. Tell the interviewer that, okay, these are the steps I'm thinking about taking. What do you think? Am I going in the right direction? Let's say if you have more than one approach to the same problem, feel free to discuss both the approaches. The interviewer always will give you some subtle hints about which approach or which path you should take. So always, whatever you're thinking, just speak it out loud or think out loud so that the interviewer is able to correct you or stop you or agree with you. Either of the cases, right? Because if you are just thinking, interviewer does not have the capability or ability to read your mind. So always think out loud. Number 4, perfect solution. So this particular point specifically applies more towards product sense or case study questions where the problem statement mostly will be a little ambiguous or vague. So at that point in time, do not focus more on providing a perfect solution, which is following every rule in the book that probably you have read or some video that you have watched, because there is no perfect solution to these kind of questions. In the starting itself, we discussed about having multiple different approaches towards the same problem, because these kind of problems have different approaches. That's just the fact. So if you are thinking or trying to approach a perfect solution in a limited amount of time, again, that will create an extra sense of pressure on you, which you are adding on yourself. Always keep this in mind that there is no perfect solution to these kind of ambiguous questions. We always do try different methods to see which one is working perfectly. So it's okay if you are able to prove or kind of defend that the points that you are talking about holds true in real life, then that's it. That's what they're looking for. They also know that this might not be happening when you have the data in front of you. There might be some other solution that might be jumping at that point in time, but right now you do not have any data points to back you up. So rather than just going ahead and sticking to one point, start from something simple and then go build on top of it, and do not try to chase some perfect answer, because that does not exist. 5, interviewer hints. So in majority of the cases, if you are going in the wrong direction or if you are not explaining your solution properly, the interviewer will stop you or try to give you some subtle hints to help you go back in track. Now it's up to you if you are able to grab that hint or not. In some of the cases, what I have seen is whenever we are trying to give some hints to the candidate, a lot of the times they will say that, no, this is the best solution. I have already implemented this solution, so this works. Great. If you have already implemented this solution, that is absolutely fine. But if the interviewer is stopping you or trying to make you go in a different direction, try to comprehend that. Try to understand why are they talking about that. Are they looking for a particular solution or some kind of a different solution than what I am talking about? Whenever you are able to at least grab the hint or able to understand the hint, even if you are not able to provide the solution, that gives you a brownie point. So it matters a lot to the interviewer if you are able to understand what they're talking about or not. Because at the end of the day, what they're trying to understand if you are able to work in a collaborative environment as well. Most of the cases, you won't be working by yourself, but rather you will be working in a team. So whenever there will be, sudden changes, some collaboration, talks, brainstorming, you should be able to understand when to stop and pick up a cue and then go in a different direction. If you are sticking to the same solution even after multiple stopping points, then that gives a wrong impression to the interviewer that the candidate is not able to pick up the hints, and that does not go very well. So always take a moment of your time to jot down your thoughts whenever the interviewer is stopping you or trying to ask you a question to clarify a particular point. Clarify, take some moment, jot down your thoughts, and then again come back. They will give you a subtle hint, or even if they're not, at least you'll say that, okay, I have picked up the hint and I've tried a different solution rather than sticking to the same one. So read the room, read your audience and whom you're talking to, because that matters a lot. Now comes the sixth point, and I think this is probably the most important one for me. So whenever you are going for an interview, try to not think about this, that the person on the other side is going to judge me basis of my answer, but rather think about it in such a way that I'm going to solve a problem alongside one of my peer or colleagues. That helps take off the pressure immensely. So whenever I'm going into the interview room with a mindset of solving a problem rather than trying to build a pressure on myself that I have to clear this round, I have found it extremely easy and calming. So whenever you go in and you are always preferring the mindset of solving the problem rather than trying to sound perfect, that creates an added layer of pressure. Rather than that, just go in, tell the interviewer clearly, okay, I'm not too sure about this particular section. What do you think? The same way you would solve a problem with your colleague or peer with, no pressure on yourself. If you go to the interview room with the same mindset, it helps you immensely. And I believe many other peers of mine will agree to this. Whenever you go ahead with problem solving mindset rather than an interview mindset, that drastically changes the situation, and the interviewer also will feel at ease with you, because they will also understand that you're not trying to pretend to be someone else. You will just say that, okay, I am sure about this particular section, I'm not sure about this particular section. So always iterate and communicate clearly, and whenever you are not sure, communicate that also clearly. It takes that pressure off the interview as well. So think about from the interviewer's perspective. So whenever they are sitting on the other side of the table, there's a pressure on themselves as well, that they'll have to understand what particular solution you're trying to give. They'll have to judge that in a limited amount of time and come up with a conclusion for the HR, that either to pass this candidate or fail. So whenever you are going in with a problem solving mindset and you are already calm and not nervous, or you're not trying to impress the interviewer, they're also able to feel that same energy in the room, and they'll also help you solve the problem together. And then at the end of the day, the problem solution is what matters the most rather than picking out the candidate. The candidates who are at ease, calm, and only focusing more on solving the problem always gets through to the next round, rather than someone who's just trying to impress the interviewer and trying to pretend something they're not. So these were the 6 tips that I talked to you about. I hope the way I have found this helpful, you find this helpful as well. Let me know in the comments below if I have missed something and you want to share it with a broader audience. And all the best. Hope you find this video somewhat helpful, and take care, and we'll meet you in the next one.